Good day, our amazing listeners, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Sphere Rocket Podcast Network, your go to destination in exclusive conversations with top tier real estate professionals. I'm your host, Sweet, and today I hope you are ready to learn and be inspired for today's episode because we have a special guest with us. She is a co founder of Great Life RA Group and at Real Broker and an innovative progressive real brokerages. Please welcome Lainey Jones.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Hi, good morning. So nice to have you here in the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so excited. And yeah, before we start with our real conversation for today, so I would like to ask you, Lainey, how did you spend your weekend? Like, what's your favorite thing that happened this week?
I specialize in lake property, and so yesterday was a holiday, so I enjoyed that. But prior to that, I was out showing lake properties, some vacation rentals and some for full-time residents. So had a good time showing homes and exploring the lake life.
Love that. It's like really you embodied being like showing homes to people and yeah, really serving them. So yeah, so to start off our podcast today and our episode today, so how did you get started in the real estate business? Like what sparked interest in you to start this journey?
Well, that's kind of interesting. I had never sold real estate. I was never in sales. But really early in my life, I was a bartender, worked in food and beverage, and tended bar. And then I got into property appraisal, which was a great fit for me, but it wasn't quite the right, place for me to be. And then I went back to school and became a software engineer. So I worked in software development and enjoyed that. But my other half moved me here, and I said, oh my gosh, what do I want to do now? So I put together software development, property appraisal, and personality of bartending all into one. I said I could be a great real estate agent because I can understand the properties, I could do evaluations, I'm a techie, and I'm personable. So I put them all together and started on the path in 2007 and haven't looked back.
Wow. It was so interesting that you started in the food and beverage industry and now in the real estate. So great. And yeah, I think everything happens for a reason, right? Like all of your experiences, and also applying it to your current business and current career. And yeah, wow, it's been a while. It's been like a long journey for you in
Mm-hmm.
the real estate industry. So, what would you say is your business superpower?
I'm able to educate people so they feel confident that when they're making a choice, it makes sense for where they're going in their lives and they feel confident in that decision. So I really take the time to make sure they understand the pros and cons of everything, how the process works, and I really try to figure out where they are in their path so I can help them best be an informed buyer or informed seller and make a decision they're happy about.
Love that, educating people. And love how you say be an informed buyer, so they were not buying things impulsively or just because of it's the face value, but also being in depth in that. So with your career in the real estate, so it's been about 2007, right?
Yeah,
You started, yeah,
17
like you mentioned. Yeah, I'm not really good at math, so thank you so much for computing that for me. And yeah, so since 2007, so what was the significant changes that you have seen from then to now?
Well, I started in 2007 and the market went south, and I was in a new town. I didn't know anyone. So it was really challenging when prices are dropping really fast, people are holding. But I survived through that. And then, so the market then started slowly going into a, um, a slower phase of less confidence, but just a smaller pocket of buyers being able to make that decision. And then I work with a lot of people coming here as a life change. I'm in Tennessee, I'm in the Knoxville area. So So those folks made a slow transition to come back into the market. So I've seen it go from really dreadful, where prices are falling, to kind of balanced, and everything was going at a really more of a natural pace. And then it started picking up where the confidence in people built. And then we went into the 21 frenzy of the market went crazy. And now we're still intense, but we're getting a little more balanced than we were. Some houses are still flying off the market and there are multiple offers, but it's not the standard now. So it's just a little leaning towards sellers, but still getting a little more balanced. So it's been crazy. It's been a really big roller coaster.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a really a roller coaster ride since then to now. So you probably have seen like some patterns to it with like the market rising and falling. And yeah, so what would you, is it okay like to share some tips for your like buyers? Like what is that biggest tip or like main advice that you give them? Like you said, you are really wanting to have like informed buyers and educating them. So what is like that um biggest advice that you are giving them when it comes to like buying properties?
Well, it's going to be different. So I have a local group of people that locally are buying. So they're moving maybe across town for a job or something related. Their kids are growing, different schools, downsizing, upsizing. So that is a different market, informing them on the process of buying and selling, what the climate of the market is, what they're going to be in for when they go to make an offer, or how long they're going to market for when they're going to sell. So approaching them in a way that they already know the area, so they don't need to understand the area. Now they need to understand the nuances of buying and selling in today's current market, the climate we have today, and how that may have changed if they bought their house in 2005 or 2012, how the mortgage industry has changed, how the market is different, how the rules are different. So that's where you focus on local people, because they're not learning the market. On people that come here from out of state, it's really helping them calibrate to what they get for their money, because they think they get price X for houses that are maybe a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet is price X in their market, and it's completely different in ours. It may be higher or it may be lower depending on what market they come from. So I need to help them calibrate to what their expectations are for what you get for your money, especially if they're looking at lake or mountain front or mountain views. Lakefront mountain views has a whole different price thing, and you don't go from price per square foot because the amenity is so rich. That's a huge part of the price too. So it's really trying to help them calibrate.
Love that, helping them to calibrate and really analyzing their needs, so
Yes.
you'll know how to like guide them and guide them to like what's the best thing to do, next steps to do, something
Mhm.
like that. And yeah, so do you have some favorite moments that you have with your client, like your favorite experience that happened to you, like oh wow, this is a very like a core memory for me or something like that?
Well, I like all types of buyers, but we recently had a buyer when she found that they accepted her offer because we'd been around and around on different places. She broke down and cried because this was life changing for her, and
Mm.
those moments um, really touch you so deeply. And the biggest thing in my job is to keep remembering what it felt like when I bought my first home. How we got in there and we're like, yes, we're on the board. We have a house. It's ours. And so, it's a big moment. The closing is a big celebration. And keeping that, very clear in my heart that this is a big, big moment. Sometimes they're bittersweet when they're leaving. Sometimes, they're just such a big part of joy when they buy a lake house that they've always been wanting, and now they finally have gotten there. So the moments like those just stick with you.
Really being in the place of help, right? And also like putting your shoes on theirs.
Yes.
And yeah, so so lovely. Like yeah, that was so inspiring. I was just
Yeah.
so
Well,
heartwarming. Yes.
it's very easy for us to, you sell a few hundred houses and you're just like, yeah, we're going to closing, blah, blah, blah. You don't have that specialness that it really is to them. And you have to make sure you remember that and live that moment with them. So I make a point of that. We actually have a celebration we do at closing. So it does make it special.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Of course, buying a new home, is really, really special,
Mhm.
right? And yeah, it's just really celebrating with them. And yeah, and like you mentioned a while ago, you really love showing houses to different people, or yeah, clients as well. So you're basically out most of the time. Is that right? Like really showing houses to people?
Well, I'm actually 50-50. So I list houses. Those people are often buyers. So I'm showing their houses. And then because I have a huge relocation market, I'm helping people transition from their market to this one. And down the road, they are probably going to be sellers of mine. So some people only list, some people only buy. I got about a 50-50 balance there of listing and showing.
Love that. So with the variety of like responsibilities that you have as a realtor, so do you have someone helping you on your day-to-day task, and what's your input or thoughts about delegation in business?
Well, that's important, isn't it? So actually we have someone with Sphere Rocket that helps us with our social media marketing, helping us, schedule it, make sure it's going out when it needs to go out. Um, so we have someone help with that kind of administrative stuff. Then we also have someone to help us on the back end with some of our video editing that we do. So we found it really helpful to have people. I mean, I can do all these things, but the time it takes me away from the people where I make money, which is working face to face with the people. And some of the back end stuff is easier to have someone do the transaction coordination or posting on social media or doing some other things. So Sphere Rocket has been helpful in separating me so I can go do the money making activities and someone else can do the more clerical activities, or the ones that consume time but don't bring me any dollars directly.
Totally, totally agree with that. Yeah, of course, time is money, right?
Yes.
And of course, it's not about a question of skill. It's about like how much time you spend on it, and of course, having like extra pair of hands to help you and also leverage your business. It's really, really great. So, how long have you been a great client of Sphere Rocket?
Oh, that's a good question. I think probably 2020 or 2021 we started.
Oh, wow. So it's like you're one of the pioneer
Uh,
clients of Sphere Rocket. So how did you know about it?
you know, I'm not really sure how I found out about it. It might have been a friend. I know we were looking in that space and we somehow stumbled on Justin and Sphere Rocket and said, okay, this is the path. So and then we just
Love
pulled
that.
the trigger and didn't look back.
Love that. Love that. So is there like what was the, of course at first there will be like adjustments when it comes to like hiring offshore. So how was the experience with you when you were hiring your first VA?
So, it was really interesting. We went through the interview process and we found some good options. And, we had one, he was fantastic. He did a great job. He was really good at what he did. And he was really eager and willing to learn. And, and then we've fine-tuned to figure out what exactly do we need. So we've made some personal adjustments to figure out how we can look for the right person. So that's been important, is be clear on what you're looking for, what kind of personality they're going to have, and the skill set that they're bringing already. So that's kind of critical to make sure you balance all those things. So it's been a good process for us.
Love that. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's really that's step one, like recognizing and knowing what problems needs to be solved for you to like know how to delegate them. And yeah, of course, it's since it's offshore, it's like there's an extra effort on that, on how to like translate things and teach things. And so nice to hear that you're loving the process of Sea Rocket. So how many VAs in total that you have right now?
Well, right now we have two. We had 3. We've kind of retooled a little. We're trying to change that position to a different thing. And what we've learned that was really critical is that one size does not fit all. So we have broken apart into this area of specialty and this area of specialty. And this third one, we're going in another direction of specialization. So we've figured out that we can't expect one person to know everything. So we get different personalities for different jobs. So that's been our critical path of figuring out. So now we have 2 very good ones that are doing exactly what we need them to do. And we're looking for our next hire to get squared away on the third one.
Oh, that's so great. That's so great to know. And of course, what are the things that you have observed when it comes to your business when you had your VAs compared when you haven't had them yet?
Oh, of course, yeah. So the consistency has been critical. That they're able to be more consistent than we are because they're focused on their area. And for us, I'm like herding cats and I'm the only cat. It's just a lot to manage me sometimes. So for me, it's really made me be more consistent with things that I would put on the back burner as I'm running out to do other things. So, with my clients, they keep me hustling. And so some of these things just didn't even get done. This helps me balance and keep the consistency.
Love that. It's lovely to hear that, of course, you were able to leverage your business and be more consistent on the areas that you might have, of course, overlooked sometimes. And yeah, having that extra help with you. And yeah, of course, and also like reach the success that you have. So speaking of success, Lainey, so for those our listeners who are also aspiring to achieve that level of success that you have, and so what is that number one piece of advice that you could give them?
Start with an assistant to keep you on track with your life and the things that you need to get done, and fill all those gaps of things and just write it down, everything you need them to do, so that it becomes, a point of reference for them. And if for some reason they have to move on for something or you have to move on for something, you have all that standard operating procedure documented. So makes it really easy to put someone else in there. Or if you have so much volume that you would have 2 people on that, they can both know what needs to happen and work together really well. So document, and fill in those blanks.
That. Love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Lainey. Really learned a lot about you today. And yeah, so before we proceed to our next segment, let's have you how can our listeners reach out to you, or what's the best way for them to contact you?
Well, my nickname's Lakefront Lainey. So my website's Lakefront Lainey. My Insta handle's Lakefront Lainey. On Facebook, Lakefront Lainey. So if they need to find me, Lakefront Lainey, and if it's like LinkedIn, I'm just Lainey Jones, but easy Facebook or Instagram or Lakefront Lainey.
Love that. Thank you so much. And yeah, so before we proceed to our lightning round, let's have a quick commercial.
Okay.
Overwhelmed with work? Well, meet your new partner from Sphere Rocket VA. In just a click, get matched with a virtual assistant who handles all the tedious tasks. No in-person hiring, no extra office gear, just easy online help from our recruitment team. It's like having an extra pair of hands minus the hassle. So ready to relax and see your work done just like magic? Choose Sphere Rocket VA and visit us at www.sphererocketva.com.
Okay, and we're back, still here with Lainey, and it's time for our lightning round. So, Lainey, a lightning round are just quick and fun questions. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Love it. So, what is your favorite business book?
Atomic Habits.
Oh, love that book too. And who is your favorite influencer or coach?
Well, right now I'm really enjoying Will Draper.
Love it. And favorite lead generation method?
I'm with search engine marketing still, pay-per-click.
And biggest goal for 2024?
To double my production for us in the group.
Best Amazon purchase of 2024?
Well, it's silly, but it's the Roomba.
Oh, what's a Roomba? Sorry, I'm not
Vacuums
familiar.
for me. So it vacuums 3 days a week for me, and I don't vacuum now. It just does it all for me.
Oh, wow. That is so,
Get
so
those hours
helpful.
back. Yeah, I just get those
Love
hours back.
Love that. Love that. Okay, so thank you so much, Lainey. It's so, so fun to have you here in the podcast. Such great energy, and I've learned and was inspired by you. And yeah, I wish you continued success in your real estate endeavors. So, and do you have someone to give a shout out or give your gratitude? So I'm giving you the floor.
Okay, well, I'm grateful to be at Real Broker. Sharon Srivastava is incredible, and his leadership's been amazing. And then I'm grateful for Eleanor Sipple, my partner, and we have founded the Great Life RE team. We're expanding into Florida, so go team go. We love our team; they do a great job, and we're excited to really tackle this year with some high goals. So thank you for everyone that helps us get there. And I think that's it right now.
Love that. Thank you so much, Lainey. And there you have it, friends. Lainey Jones. And I hope you learned from this episode. And don't forget to click that follow button or subscribe button and leave a comment so you will never miss an episode. And as always, if you have suggestions for future topics or guests, just drop us a message. And we love hearing from you. Again, my name is Sweet, and until next time, stay inspired and keep building those spheres of success.